the Jacob Phillips role a lot more. And like, I only say that because, Jacob Phillips was a draft pick that Andrew Berry made. And so we got to see the type of linebackers that Andrew Berry wants, right? And I would say Collins is not Jacob Phillips. But I think you've made a good point to me in the past where, you know, is Andrew Berry going to say like, "Oh, I don't want this athletic freak on my team who can play multiple positions." Like, I think Collins would be a good pickup, and I'd be happy with him. But I took a different route to this. I really did, and I'm going with a trade in the first round. I'm saying we're going to send our 26th, our 91st pick, and possibly a second round in 22 to get up to 19. And it took me a while to like figure out what I wanted to throw in for a trade to move up these 7 positions. And I feel like this is a trade that we would be willing to make. Like right now, I don't think we need to fill out a roster with draft picks. I think like we've shown that our salary cap is actually in a pretty good place when you look around the league.
Well, we got smart guys in that front office that know a lot about the cap, and that's a benefit for us for sure.
Absolutely. And so I just don't think we need as many picks as we have right now. Now that's why like I questioned throwing in that second round pick of 22 in 22, right. But at the same time, like I feel like that gets us to 19. And I felt like getting to 19 was extremely important because in looking at
who's ahead of us.
Yeah, I felt like if we waited to 26, I don't think we get Kwity Paye.
Yeah.
And Kwity Paye is absolutely the best edge rush prospect in this draft. I mean, he's got all the hardware to prove it, right? Like even in high school, he was the Rhode Island Gatorade Player of the Year. This is back in 2016. Not just because of his defensive play, where he had 12 tackles for a loss, he had over 4 sacks, but he also had 13 rushing touchdowns in high school. Like this is a guy that understands the running side of the football very well. He played in 9 games as a reserve in his freshman year, still with 5 tackles and 1.5 tackles for a loss. And it really catapulted him, right? Like the next year, his sophomore campaign, he had 29 tackles, 5.5 for a loss. He had 2 sacks. He's just getting better every single year. The more responsibility put on his shoulders, you really got to see him succeed, right? Like take advantage of all the opportunities that he had. His junior season, 50 tackles, 12 for a loss, 6.5 sacks. He had 11 starts that year, and he was named the team captain for the 2020 season. He earned honorable mentions for all conference. This is a guy that got all Big Ten accolades. Like this is the guy we need right here, right?
Oh no, I 1,000%. I have nothing to argue with Kwity Paye. I have a weird philosophy of just I don't trade up. I don't like trading up unless it's for the quarterback. I don't like giving up assets. But if say that trade scenario did go down, if he did fall, because that would require him sliding in the draft. Okay, it would require other teams being dumb, in my opinion, and passing on him. Because this guy, I feel, should be a top 10 pick. So if he were to slide and we traded up, gave what you said for him, I'm ecstatic. I like Zaven Collins is my favorite player in the draft, but let's just say Kwity Paye slid to 26. I'm taking Kwity Paye over Zaven Collins without even hesitation. I'm not even thinking about what we're not getting with Collins. Absolutely. You're 100% on point. But here's why you're wrong. This is why this is not going to happen. He's not going to slide. I don't see him sliding at all. And number two, I think our front office, being cap savvy, being smart, I think they realize what's coming up next year. And what's coming up next year is there is a whole lot of contracts due. And as good as they are, there's no way we're re-signing everybody. And if anything, a trade back, in my opinion, is much more plausible. If I said that word right, I don't know, and I don't care.
I'll just say this, all right? Because in putting Kwity Paye at 19, I had to think about that slide that you're talking about. And so I think the first team that comes up that a lot of people have mocked Kwity Paye to is Minnesota.
No, I'd say the New York Giants.
Well, all my research did was Minnesota, so you need
to. Belichick's going to let him get by him?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, I'm just saying, like,
I think so.
John Gruden's a complete maniac out there. You think that guy's not going to freaking take him?
So first thinking Minnesota, I would say Minnesota goes offensive line. They need offensive line bad. And then the next team I really thought could take him is Oakland or Las Vegas. I don't know. Like, John Gruden surprises you in the draft, and I think is dumb at times.
Oh, he's completely stupid, but at the same time, I'm worried about him because he's going to take somebody he doesn't need, and he's going to fuck us. Well, that's what I'm worried about with John Gruden.
I feel like I could see Gruden drafting offensive line because they need that too. But I could also see John Gruden going out and getting the 10th best quarterback because he just loves the way he throws the ball, right? Like I could see Kwity Paye falling to that 19th position. But I agree with you. If we let him try to slide to 26th, there's no way we get Kwity Paye. There's no way. And it's been tough for me when I made this choice because before his pro day, I was all in on Rousseau. Like, I thought Rousseau was the best talent I had seen on his tape from 2019. I still feel like he is going to be a freak of nature, but I can't put Kwity Paye up against Rousseau anymore. Like, when you do 19 reps, I think Rousseau did 19 reps. Like, I don't trust Rousseau to get back to that place he was at in 2019. Like, I don't have that trust there. Kwity Paye put up like 33 reps. Like, this is a guy that is absolutely motivated to go in the first round of this draft. Yeah. And when you put that kind of effort into getting drafted, I think you're going to put that kind of effort into winning a Super Bowl. To go back to what you were saying about Cleveland not being able to sign everybody back, this is what I have to say. Our goal this year should be Super Bowl or bust. It really should be. I think that this is our opportunity to really shine. And then coming back to offseason after winning a Super Bowl to not try to bring this team back together to go back to a Super Bowl, I think would be extremely stupid. And so I see us making it work, whether we have to restructure contracts, whether we have to franchise tag somebody, which I hate the franchise tag, but if we need to do whatever we possibly can to bring this team back another season. Plus, I could see us going another direction with our wide receiver core, but that doesn't mean that you have to go draft a bunch of wide receivers. Like, I don't know. I don't see it your same way. I don't think we need the draft capital at least the next couple seasons. And so that's why I was like willing to put that out there, knowing that like we have been stupid in the draft with our draft capital in the past. And so this triggers me a little bit saying that we should be trading up. But at
No,
the same time, it's for the best edge rusher in the draft, and it is. I put it as our number one need right now. Is that
over corner.
yeah, man, and you know that I really
Our biggest question marks, you know what I mean, is just the uncertainty with number one, is Greedy Williams even good? You know what I mean? That seems to be the biggest question because, and that's not a shot at him. It's just all we have of him is from his rookie year, and he was injury riddled, and then he missed his entire sophomore year with a coaching change. Does he fit in this defense? You know what I mean? Has he progressed and all that stuff? So he is a big question mark there. And then on the DN thing, I as of right now, if you're going to say that Tack McKinley going in is the answer as our starting corner opposite Myles Garrett, I'm not that comfortable with that either. That's not a shot on him. It's just we haven't seen anything else yet. So those are two glaring needs, in my opinion, above linebacker. I just like, Collins at 26.
And you know that my favorite player in this draft is a corner.
Absolutely.
Caleb Farley, I think, is going to be an excellent corner, and I pass on him thinking he could possibly fall to 26. I think he could possibly. I don't think there's any possibility Kwity Paye.
I think it's smoke. I think it's pre-draft smoke. I think that guy. The more I think about it, because watching the tape on all the cornerbacks, I think that he is without a doubt the best cornerback in the draft. And yeah, he's got some injury concerns and all of that, but I don't see it. If you're going to go cornerback, how you could justify taking certain guys over him.
Yeah, and so for me, making this Kwity Paye pick at 19, I feel like there is a possibility of Kwity Paye falling to 19. I think it's probably not 100%. It's absolutely not 100%, but I think there's a chance. And so that's why I was like, you know what? I want to trade up. I want to get the best edge rusher in this draft because right now is our time, and we need somebody like Kwity Paye to be in there if we expect Super Bowl this season.
Absolutely. No, I got nothing wrong with that. So let's move on now. Now let's take it a little bit shorter once we get to these other picks. We don't have to go for days and dive deep into these guys because a lot of these guys, you know what I mean? It's just guys. But for my second round pick at number 56, since I went linebacker, I'm now going to go edge, and I'm going to go with a guy who really potentially, in my opinion, could be a first round pick or an early second round pick, but I have him sliding down to 56 here. I'm going Carlos Basham, defensive end from Wake Forest. There's a lot of edge rushers in this draft I really like because, with it being one of the positions that you see as a need, you watch a lot more. And when you're picking as late as we are, you're not just looking at 2 or 3 guys. You're looking at a whole lot of them. And of all the guys that are projected to be first round picks and stuff like that, there's Azeez Ojulari and other guys, a lot of them I really like, but I also see them more as a fit as a 3-4 outside linebacker. Not to say that they wouldn't be able to make it work. It's just I try to look realistically at what we do on defense. Carlos Basham fits that mold to a T as a 4-3 defensive end. The guy is huge. He stays around 275. This guy can be power opposite Myles Garrett. I think he can come in and easily be a starter. That's why I would be shocked if he's there. This is just a guy that I would with me going linebacker in the first round, I got to make up for passing over a huge glaring need where we need a starter. And that's my guy.
I like it. Basham is somebody who I felt like was definitely a first-round talent. I think he slides because of all the offensive players going. I don't know if he'll be there at our pick in the second round, but I like it. I think if he does slide to us, it would be a good pickup, especially since you don't address the edge necessarily in the first round. And so I like it. So where I go in the second round is corner. Definitely our second